My stepsister thought she was marrying a millionaire. She laughed when he asked me out instead. I only agreed to the double date because my stepmom threatened to kick me out if I didn't. Apparently my stepsister Ava had met some young tech millionaire at a luxury networking event, and he refused to go on dates unless his best friend had someone too. Guess who got volunteered? Me. The girl they treated like unpaid staff for the last 6 years. The second Ava saw me walking downstairs in my dress, she actually laughed. Not nervous laughter, not surprised laughter, mocking laughter. Oh my god, she said between giggles, looking me up and down. Noah's definitely getting the charity date tonight. My stepmom laughed too. Just try not to scare him off before appetizers. I almost didn't go after that. But rent in Denver was insane. I was still finishing college, and my stepmom clearly enjoyed reminding me how replaceable I was every chance she got. So I kept my mouth shut and went anyway. The restaurant was one of those ridiculously expensive rooftop places where every plate looked like modern art, and nobody under 30 could actually afford to eat there without crying afterward. Ava was practically vibrating with excitement the entire elevator ride up. He owns part of a cybersecurity company, she whispered for the 5th time. Do you realize how rich that is? I don't think rich is measured in cybersecurity units, I replied. She rolled her eyes immediately. Then the guys arrived. Ava's date, Ethan, looked exactly how rich people in Netflix shows always look. Tailored black suit, expensive watch, calm, smile, the whole package. My date, Noah, looked completely different. Dark hoodie under a jacket, messy hair, coffee cup from a gas station in one hand. He immediately pointed at the tiny appetizer portions and whispered, I think they accidentally served us decorative samples. I laughed before I could stop myself. For the next hour, Ava practically hung on to Ethan's every word while he talked about investments, mergers, startup acquisitions, and private networking events. Every time he mentioned money, her eyes lit up like casino machines. Meanwhile, Noah kept making sarcastic comments under his breath. At one point, the waiter described a dish using the words deconstructed truffle experience, and Noah quietly leaned over to me and whispered, that sentence alone added $50 to the bill. I nearly choked laughing. The weird part was how people reacted around them. Whenever we arrived somewhere expensive, staff always seemed to recognize Noah first, before awkwardly shifting attention toward Ethan. At first I thought I imagined it, but then during another date at this upscale bookstore cafe, the hostess smiled directly at Noah and said, welcome back, Mr. Carter. Your usual table is ready. Then she saw Ethan and suddenly corrected herself. Ava didn't notice. I absolutely did. Things got even stranger when Noah picked me up in a Bentley one night, but casually claimed it belonged to Ethan. Your friend seems very generous, I said carefully. Noah shrugged. Rich people get weird about sharing things. The final date happened 2 weeks later. Noah texted us an address downtown that led to one of those massive glass skyscrapers overlooking the city. Ava spent the entire elevator ride fixing her makeup and whispering, oh my god, this is it. The elevator opened directly into a penthouse. And not just rich, movie rich. Floor-to-ceiling windows, private piano, modern art everywhere. An entire wall covered in framed magazine covers. Forbes, Wired, Tech Insider, Entrepreneur of the Year. Every single cover had Noah's face on it. Ava stared at the wall like her brain physically stopped working. Then she slowly turned toward Ethan. What is this? Ethan tried not to smile. I manage operations for Noah's company. Complete silence. Then Noah shoved his hands into his pockets and admitted the truth. Apparently women treated him completely differently the moment they found out how wealthy he actually was. So he and Ethan started swapping identities during dates. Ethan played the billionaire while Noah acted normal just to see how people behaved when they thought nobody important was watching. You're the 5th person we've tried this with, Noah admitted. Ava exploded instantly. She started yelling that they manipulated her, that the whole thing was sick, that she deserved honesty. Noah stayed weirdly calm through all of it. Then he asked one question. If Ethan worked a normal office job, would you still have gone out with him? Ava opened her mouth, then closed it. That silence answered everything. She stormed out furious. Ethan quietly followed her toward the elevator after giving me a small, apologetic look. Then it was just me and Noah standing awkwardly inside this massive penthouse. Finally, he looked at me and asked, you figured it out before tonight, didn't you? I nodded. The restaurant hostess gave it away. He laughed so hard, he had to sit down on the couch. Then he asked why I never said anything. And honestly, the answer surprised even me. Because you were the first person in a long time who talked to me like I mattered. I admitted quietly, not like I was somebody standing in the background. Noah got quiet after that, really quiet. Then he smiled at me in this softer way I hadn't seen before and said, good, because I was really hoping this one was real.